Death Episode 2, Bureaucracy. Cold open, Gina's apartment, mid-morning. Gina meditates in her living room. She breathes in deeply, eyes closed. When she opens them, Death is sitting also cross-legged on the other side of the room on the love seat.
What are you doing?
Juggling chainsaws. What's it look like? I'm meditating.
Weird. I prefer to meditate alone, and also not to.
What do you want?
Upon asking this, Gina begins mouthing words to herself.
What is that?
My mantra. What are you doing here?
I'm watching a girl who should be dead muttering to herself.
Shouldn't you have better things to do?
Yeah, of course I do. And I am doing them. I'm everywhere at once. I'm like the Father Christmas of horrible things.
Don't come in here. And don't eat all my fruit. I need those for work in a few hours. That vendor you jinxed still isn't working. And I'm about to go to bed, so say your piece and GTFO.
Death has already peeled and stuffed a whole banana in his mouth.
It can't go on like this forever, you know. You're supposed to be dead. That leaves a void, needs filled. And bad things happen with a void. You know, the last bloke I let off the hook after a wolf attacked him ended up turning into one himself. What do you think's going to happen to you? Similar thing happened with Vlad the Impaler, but that was sort of over a bet. Come to think of it, so was Wolfie. I should probably quit gambling with lives. I may have a problem.
In the shower.
Are you seriously talking werewolves and vampires? Jesus. Anything else I should know about skulking in the night out there?
Death pops his head in the shower. Gina yelps and bats him away as he says,
Nothing to worry yourself over. Enjoy your nap. I finished off your banana, but left you an apple or two.
For fuck's sake, get out!
End of cold open. Opening titles for Death. Act 1, Interior, Gina's apartment. Day, Fade 2, a dull waiting room with no natural light. Gina sets her alarm clock and closes the heavy blinds to create artificial darkness. She drifts to sleep, and we shift to her in a sporty red suit, eyes closed in a very ordinary, dull grayish waiting room with several hellish creatures and a couple angelic-looking people in white suits mulling about. Gina opens her eyes and seems a bit perplexed, but not at all scared. She looks down to see a piece of paper with the number 342 in her hand. The loudspeaker overhead is calling 329. Gina looks to her left to see Marie Antoinette decapitated and holding her head in her elbow while reading a copy of the Daily Mail. Gina tries to collect herself at the sight of this.
That, any good?
Is rubbish. Leave it to the bearers of truth and public honesty to concoct the most villainous lies, gossip, and sexist rubbernecking for the sake of wealth and sensationalism. Makes me sick to my stomach, really.
I'm sorry, but are you Marie Antoinette?
How did you ever spot me? You want an autograph, I suppose?
No, that's all right. Where are we exactly? What are we doing here?
Adjustments department. I'm making a formal complaint. Don't know about you.
A complaint?
Yes, a complaint. The bloody peasants took my head off, if you didn't notice, and all over a misfortunate misquote. It's the context that matters.
Let them eat cake. That one?
We had extra cake left over from a banquet. I was being charitable. It's not my fault if my poofter of a husband spent the wealth of France on America's war.
Right. Thanks for that. But wait, that was... How long have you been waiting here?
You get used to it once you've been here a while. But you hope you get your number called today, because if they start over when the receptionist clocks out. You know, I've read this bloody useless rag more times than I took breaths when my throat was still linked up to my lungs.
Oh dear.
342?
Oh, I think that's me.
Yes, well, some dames is lucky and some aren't they?
I'm sorry. I think I have to...
Gina gets up, looking around, and makes her way to the receptionist.
Oh, excuse me, but am I dreaming or...
Yes and no. You've been summoned. HR's through there.
She doesn't point, but sort of nods in the direction of a door labeled HHR, Heaven Hades Resources.
Yes, I see. Thank you.
Interior, HHR office. Gina wanders into the HHR office and finds a nearly identical room, but with nobody else waiting in it, and a desk at the other end with yet another receptionist. This one, an older angelic woman behind a placard that reads HHR. On either side of the room are doors, one reading HR Heavenly Resources, and the other reading HR Hadesley Resources.
Oh, hi. This might seem strange, but I'm not exactly sure where I'm going. In fact, I'm not certain I should be at all. Where is this?
One thing at a time, sweetheart. Name?
Gina Shaw.
That a question?
What?
HHR looks up in a roll file system on the desk.
Uh-huh. All right. I can schedule you for an appointment for review on the 18th. That work for you?
I don't understand. You mean I have to come back?
Ease up, honey. It's not like it's a difficult commute.
Okay, but who will I be speaking to?
Your HHR representative and auditor.
But who's my...
Honey, I don't know. I just write it in the book. We'll be seeing you shortly. Be sure and get a power nap on the 18th, and we'll see if we can't get this little snafu straightened out, all right?
HR goes to hit a bell on the desk.
Oh, wait, please. Just one more question. Why do you share offices?
Low overhead.
HR hits the bell and Gina wakes up to her alarm going off. Interior, Gina's apartment, late afternoon. Gina hits the snooze and sits up puzzled, now in the relative darkness of night.
How did I know the bell was going to do that?
End of Act 1. Act 2, Interior Hospital, evening. In the hospital x-ray room, Claire is sorting some things. Chuck walks in and seems surprised to see her.
Oh, hello.
Hey,
Are you occupied?
no, go ahead. Just some stuff for Mr. Tufke's.
All right then.
Chuck goes to work, peeking at some x-rays. Claire finishes up and peers over his shoulder, frowning at the images.
He's gonna be all right then, eh?
No, not really. Not really at all.
Poor old guy. Well,
Hey,
yeah?
before we go, want to grab a bite after your shift?
Oh, God. Chucky, no. I don't take this the wrong way. I don't date at work.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I just,
'Cause we banged. Yeah, but no. Totally different.
yeah, okay. Totally. Clear. Get it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Not a problem?
not at all.
Okay. Gonna get back to work then.
Right.
Claire waves a little wave and leaves. Chuck shakes his head and laughs at himself, putting his face in his hand. Claire steps back into the room.
You should call me though, when,
Oh, what?
for the other thing. And if I'm up for it or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Just, as medical professionals. Bawling.
right. Keep it professional.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe. And yeah, if I'm free, busy and all at the moment, a lot of late nighters.
Sure. Important man.
Yeah.
Claire winks and departs again. Chuck turns and snickers at himself again. He stops and looks very serious a moment later when Betty walks in with a file.
You wanted this for Mr. Tufkus?
Yes. Thank you, Betty.
Betty smiles at Chuck. Interior hospital, the big board after. Gina on the phone at the dry erase board.
4695. Got it. I'll be there with bells on. Yeah. Okay, Barbara. See you later.
Peter approaches with a chart.
Mr. Tufke's in 4.
Sure.
Hey, Gina. About the other night, we're okay, right?
Yeah. No need to make a big thing of it.
You just seem sort of...
I'm fine, Peter. Let's just get on with it, shall we? You gonna put in for Lotto this week?
Sure.
All right then. See you when you get a fiver for me.
Gina walks.
Okay.
He watches her go, not sure how to feel about the interaction. Interior hospital room. Immediately after, Gina enters Mr. Tefke's room. Claire is in there hooking up his IV.
Evening, Mr. Tufkus. How are we doing today?
Fine.
Great. I'm gonna get you something to help you sleep tonight, all right?
Thank you.
Yeah, and the good news is with that, I don't gotta strap you down tonight. No more wandering off, all right?
Okay.
Hey, Jen, you bring me stuff to try?
Yeah, got a couple of things.
Interior hospital locker room. Minutes later, cut to Claire trying on dress in the mirror of the staff locker room. Gina falls asleep against the wall.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really me. What do you think? Gina? Hey, Gina.
Sorry, slept badly. Weird dreams.
What sort? Sexy sort? You getting the fever?
Not sexy at all. No. Well, maybe a little.
Interior hospital, the big board shortly after. Cut to Gina clearing something off the dry erase board. When she turns around, Death is standing over Mr. Tufkes and talking to him. She goes and sits in the break room, looking a little worried. After a moment, Death walks into frame and leaves without saying anything in the doorway.
You can't.
I must.
He has a wife at home with Alzheimer's. Who's going to care for her?
They've got family. She'll be all right.
What if she didn't? And what if they don't?
Everyone's got a story, Jim, and they all end. No one gets a reprieve for special circumstances. That's just the nature of the game.
A game to you, is it?
No, I suppose not.
Death turns and leaves. Gina looks out the open door toward Tufkes, looking sad as a faint alarm sounds in his room and nurses rush in. Interior, Gina's apartment, late afternoon. Cut to the next night, Gina getting ready to go out in a sexy dress and doing her makeup and listening to music faintly while talking on the phone beside her, set to speaker function.
Jen, you promised you'd make it for the first round of drinks so you wouldn't have to catch up and make yourself sick like last time.
I know. I'm just running a few minutes late. I'll be there with bells on. Not literal bells, mind you. Just the regular ones.
All right, just get your funky ass down here. The party ain't waiting.
Nor I'd expect it. Hello? Barbara? Oh, balls.
Death comes in the front door. He's dressed a little sharper than normal with a nice black shirt and a red tie under his usual long black coat.
God, I thought I smelled burning plastic. What in blazes are you doing to yourself?
It's just a bit of hairspray. Are you dressed up?
I'm going out tonight too.
Where do you... Never mind. I don't want to know.
Gina returns to her mirror.
Can't you make an appointment for these little check-ins? I'm not going out the window tonight. I do have a social life and a dance card I suspect is at least half as full as the Grim Reapers.
Hey, you'd be surprised. You picked up a lot of moves snatching up souls. James Brown taught me all his best stuff.
Hey, I had a super weird dream about a waiting room between afterlives. Did you do that?
No, not me. But it weren't no dream. What did HHR say? Tell you to come back in a few months?
Actually, no. They said the 18th. I assume they meant of this month.
Huh?
What? What's that look?
Nothing. That's just unusual. I'm sure it's nothing. I mean, look, well, I've got to run. People to see, things to do, rugs to cut. Have a nice night, Shaw.
You too.
Back out the door Death goes, but on the other side, interior hallway of Gina's building, Death looks ponderous and darts off down the hallway with some unknown new determination. Exterior, cityscape view from the river and or docks, etc. Sundown. Joby, a middle-aged man with a hat, sunglasses, and newspaper, sits on a bench by the river. Death walks up and joins him.
Joby, what's the story then?
No story. She's cold.
Can't be. They're expediting her inquiry. There's got to be something going on.
I'll keep asking around. But either this thing is nothing, and I hope it is, or it's something real bad to make HHR want to cover its track and risk incurring the wrath of something like you.
I'm just a civil servant like any other.
Huh. No, bub. You ain't.
Death looks around and seems to be thinking, worried.
Keep me posted.
Will do. And watch out for black cats in your path, eh?
Death gets up and walks back the way he came, leaving Joby to sit alone, now feeding the squirrels. End of Act 2. Act 3, exterior, Club 20, night. Gina steps out of a taxi, all glammed up to party and carrying a present in her small purse. She gets in line for the club, looking like she's surprised to see a line at all, and almost immediately starts shivering and holding her shoulders, bracing against the wind. A young couple walk up in line behind her.
Oh, it's chilly.
Isn't it though?
Oh, here.
The young man puts his suit jacket on the young woman, and Gina just turns around, continuing to shiver. Another young woman in front of Gina is to the bouncer now.
ID.
Oh, really? Oh, that's sweet. No one asked me for my ID anymore. I was starting to get worried.
The bouncer looks at her ID and hands it back. Gina starts rummaging awkwardly in her purse for hers.
Okay.
Thank you.
Another young woman goes into the club, and Gina's up next. She's still rummaging.
Is here. Just a moment.
Gina looks up a little surprised, insulted, and or embarrassed.
Hey, I'm sorry. Don't take it personal, but you are not 20. Go on, girl, get yours. Clock's ticking for all of us.
Yeah, it is.
Interior, Club 20. Inside the club, music blasting, and Gina spots Barbara and a few other women at a table with big colorful drinks that glow in the black light. When anyone talks, their teeth glow bright white and blue.
Hey, bitches.
Gina, get your drink on, slut.
Happy bridal shower. Glad I'm not the only one tardy. Where's Claire?
Already on the floor.
Gina follows Barb's gaze to the dance floor where Claire is dancing drunkenly with a very suave, surprisingly fun, footloose, and pantsy-free Death.
For fuck's sake.
He's fit, ain't he?
Claire!
Claire and Death stop dancing and look to Gina. Death waves and smiles cheekily. Claire calls to her and runs over. Death makes his way more slowly.
Gina, get your drink on, you limey twat. Hey, this is, what'd you say your name was?
Does it matter?
You guys have the same accent.
You really don't.
I'm getting another big blue thing. Can I get any of you cunts a drink?
Scotch and soda.
Shouldn't you be buying my drinks?
I haven't got any money. I'll still go home with you later, though.
He's a riot, this one. Okay, back in a jumpin' jack flash.
Get me another pink one.
I like her.
Don't you dare. And just what the hell are you doing here?
Or something of a jig originally. Dancing's changed since this was a plague-infected colonial horde den.
I see. You just happened to decide to blow off a little steam at my friend's bridal shower.
Didn't she just have one? Oh, no, that was the Bachelorette, wasn't it? Remind me of the difference. Besides, I'm actually here on business.
It's a totally different guest list and... Wait, what sort of business? Your sort of business?
Claire returns, spilling drinks as she goes, and slaps them on the table as the Ghostbusters theme comes on. She pulls Death back to the dance floor.
Oh my God, this is my jam. Come on.
Is there any other kind? Like, woohoo, gotta go. Duty calls.
Death takes his drink with him, drinking in a hurry and tossing his glass over his shoulder, ignoring the protest of other club patrons.
What? Son of a...
What'd you get me, love?
Oh, not more vibrators. Promise.
God, I hope not. I haven't gotten through test driving the last batch yet.
Yeah.
Gina keeps her eyes on the dance floor, on Death, who winks at her while moonwalking. Cut to later, the DJ takes a moment to make an announcement to the room.
All right, y'all, this next series of jams goes out to Barbara Johnston, soon to be Mrs. Johnston Goldmeyer, and her fabulous table of tasty bitches. Have a hell of a night, ladies. Mwah! Everybody put them up. Salud.
The crowd echoes salute. Gina, now mentally checked out of the party, types into her phone calendar, nap, bureaucracy. On the square marked the 18th. She looks up when Barbara laughs loudly with the other women and realizes she's lost sight of Death and Claire.
Where's Claire?
When no one responds, Gina takes off, searching the room for them.
Gina, now where's she running off to?
As Gina pushes her way through the crowd, some douche pushes her back and she falls into a couple who inadvertently spill their drinks on her. Gina stands furious.
Ow!
Watch where you're shoving, bitch!
What did you just call me?
I called you a bitch, you fucking bitch!
Gina punches the douche so hard he spins and falls, clocking his head on the bar. Off Gina goes again, continuing her search. While some patrons help the douche up, others cheer as Gina storms off awkwardly, adjusting her heels once or twice, brushing alcohol from her dress, and picking ice from her cleavage.
Asshole.
Exterior, Club 20, still night. Outside, Gina looks around and sees people mussing about, smoking, etc. There's some commotion on the fire escape, and Gina looks up to see Claire with a bunch of idiots laughing and setting off firecrackers, shooting bottle rockets on the ambling patrons below, who cursed and flipped them off accordingly.
Claire, what are you doing? Get down from there.
Here, Gina spots Death as he turns from the crowd below to give Gina a grim look.
No.
Gina, YOLO, bitch!
It is with this exclamation that Claire loses her balance and falls, tumbling over the railing as it comes loose and breaks. She drops 3 stories into a dumpster, her leg clanging against the edge and a sickening crack echoing through the alleyway. Death turns back toward the commotion and steps slowly toward the dumpster. Gina hurriedly catches up to him and pulls at his arm, pleading for Claire, as shocked patrons become silent and look on.
You can't. Not Claire. Please.
You're wasting your breath, Jean.
I'll go. Take me. I'm apparently all used up, right? Can't we just go? Can't you just leave her if I go? God damn it. I'm making a blood sacrifice here. That counts for something, doesn't it?
Less than you might expect.
This isn't fair. And don't give me that load about life being unfair. This is my friend. You can't just take her. She stayed up nights with me studying while we survived on ramen noodles. We went to Spain together and made out a little, and it still never got weird. We promised to be godmothers for each other's children if we ever set the fuck down, but neither of us ever grew the fuck up because we didn't have time. You can't take her now.
Listen to me now, Gina Shaw, because I'm going to tell you something that applies to every one of the people that you will care about in this life and those you don't just the same. Your friend is not special. Everyone is important, and this world you continue to cling to is a different place for the lack of every single one of them. It might be better and it might be worse, but there is simply no qualifier. Everyone goes, and no one picks when. Now take your tiny little white mitts off my coat and let me do what will be done, whether you like it, hate it, accept it, or set yourself on fire in that ridiculously ill-fitting dress to stop it.
Death's expression is frightening now. Gina's eyes plead with him and he softens a little.
Please.
There's red in your ledger, Gin. Rules is rules. The balance is off. I'm leaving with someone here tonight, and this time, it's not going to be you.
Your douche steps out onto the fire escape from inside and surveys the scene.
Holy shit! That bitch is dead! Someone call an ambulance! Oh!
Peering over the edge where the rail broke, douche falls as well, but doesn't quite land in the dumpster. There's a clang, a thump, and a thick, wet splat sound. The crowd gasps, and for a moment, all is quiet. For a moment, Gina looks at Death, hopeful. Death just looks at the fresh body.
Yep, that'll do.
He looks and cracks a sympathetic, somehow sheepish smile to Gina, who hurriedly scrambles to the dumpster to help Claire, who wakes groggily and holds her head.
Oh, God, what?
Don't move. You've likely got a severe concussion. Don't close your eyes for anything and stay with me.
I think I broke my goddamn leg.
Well, don't move it, silly duck. Jesus, what kind of nurse are you? Lie still. Look up at the stars. Ain't they pretty?
Yeah.
Death reaches to the douche's body as people crowd around and lifts douche's soul out. They walk a few paces, douche looking up and around to where he fell from.
Oh man, what happened?
Don't sweat it. Everyone has a fatally embarrassing dunk or two.
Huh. It's cold out here.
No worries, mate. Look nice and warm where you're going.
Once away from the crowd, Death and the douche disappear in a quick flash of bright orange flame as the shot cranes up to show the whole scene. Siren noise fills the air and we hear Death laughing. Fade to black. Interior HHR waiting room. HHR sits at her desk filing. The buzzer on the phone sounds.
Yes?
Mr. Tufkeys has arrived.
Oh, send him in, please. Thank you, Devil Girl.
Yes, ma'am.
HHR puts her filing away and pulls one file from a stack, leafing through as Mr. Tufkeys enters from the waiting room, looking a bit confused and younger than he was, in a nice brown suit and fedora.
Mr. Tufkis, welcome. Won't you have a seat?
Okay.
Tufkis sits and peers around the room, holding his hat nervously in his hands.
Mr. Tufkis, I wonder what you might tell us about one of the nurses who helped you on your way to us?
Who? Betty? She was nice. Good rump. Well-mannered for a young one.
Yes, no. I was actually speaking about Nurse Gina Shaw.
Oh. The louder, toothy gal. Okay. What would you like to know?
Everything.
And episode 2. Thanks, everyone.